share that show. Podawful.tv. We're back. But we're better than ever. Podawful.tv. You got a Facebook, you can share it. You got a Twitter, you can share it. You got Discord, you can share it. I know some of y'all have Telegram. Oh, you can share it. Just wrapped up a 23-hour-long Rufio marathon stream. It was a beautiful time. If you missed it, don't worry. We got more for you tonight. It never ends. Season Infinity. Patrick's wife's a bitch. Tell her I said that. I hope she heard it. Divorce her. Give me the kids. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh crap. I forgot how to do. Oh. That's not good. I should remember how this works. But I don't. Oh no! I did it wrong. I told you I forgot. Forget that part. Erase that from your memory. It doesn't count until the show has begun.
Late night, and I was looking through the Instagram profile that I got going on, and was thinking, we made some really good memories. We amassed 198 followers. That's awesome. Thank you to each and every one of you. I know that some of you vehemently despise me because I have high functioning autism, or maybe there's just something else there. But let me know if this is worth keeping this page thing going, because first time in a long time I'm actually losing hope. I need a little reassurance right now.
Yikes. If you don't know that guy, his name is Rufio Phoenix, and the only way you could not know about him is if you haven't been watching the show long enough. The reason you might not have heard of him is we haven't covered him in a while because over a year ago, I kind of bullied him off of the internet. It was an accident. I love this guy. I absolutely love Rufio Phoenix. He's so funny. He's so good. He doesn't seem to realize what makes him good and funny, and I wish he would just lean into it. Instead, he went running away. Now, this Instagram video actually is pretty recent, and there's a silver lining to the end of this story. You know, he got some positive responses from that video. There's a follow-up video where he came back to his Instagram and said, you know what? I'm going to keep it going. I haven't been covering Rufio, more or less, for over a year because I want him back on the internet and I don't want him scared. I'm risking everything by doing this show tonight, but I have to do it. And the reason is, all that time, I've been waiting for new Rufio content, new Rufio updates. And where do I first see it? One of the listeners of this show found Rufio out in the wild. And it was in one of the worst places you can be found on the internet. It was a Facebook group called Incels. Incel spotting, where these women, these dumb... I'm not even going... But you know who I mean. These women, they love calling guys incels now, right? This is their favorite thing. It's so funny. Women had no good insults for men except virgin forever. And what did they supplant that with? A synonym for virgin. Good one, ladies. Always a great way to insult a person is to say, oh, you've never had sex. Yeah. Great idea. Make it sound like you think having sex is difficult. Have you ever met a woman? They're so easy to trick. So anyway, these dumb oyster brains, these women, they love making these Facebook groups. And here's the reason they make them. They make the group because they get into an argument with a man on the internet. And of course, that means they're going to lose because they're not very bright. And so what they do is they need to tag all of their friends. But Facebook made this easier for them to do. Instead, just have a cope group. A group that is all for femcel cope. You know, these women never get called out. Most of the women who call guys incels on the internet, there's two stripes. They're either OnlyFans thoughts, which, who cares? You're literally human garbage. Throw that idea out the window. Or they're femcels. They're these 20-year-old spinsters with poison cobwebbed wombs that aren't going anywhere anytime soon. You know, these childless, old, young women who have no hope for a future. If they've got a man in their life, it's casual. And with this kahuna virus, that's probably not going anywhere right now. So they get these Facebook groups, and then they tag you in it to make you upset. You know, they tag the group, and then all the ladies dogpile on you, because of course they do. Dog is what they know. Catfighting's between the ladies. Dog fighting is when you have to deal with a lady as a guy. So here's what happens. Rufio Phoenix gets discovered in this incel spotting group, and I want to share with you the post that they made about him. Now, this, to be fair, this is a post Rufio made, but I want to be clear about tonight's show. I am here to make amends with Rufio. I have wanted nothing but to desperately get him back on the internet, get back to posting, get back to streaming and gaming and all of the other stuff, the thought logs that he loves to do. If you don't know Rufio, let me introduce you to Rufio in the way that the internet at large is now being introduced to Rufio. Here's the post. Some bitch named Phoebe in Incel Spotting says, I came across this, and here's one of the female catchphrases of the year. Yikes. Yikes. Here's what Rufio said. By the way, a stunning photo of Rufio. I gotta say, Rufio is a weird guy where in some photos he can actually look kind of handsome, and then in some he just looks so bizarre. And this is not either one of those, but this is the worst photo I've ever seen of Rufio. It's not flattering. He made himself look balder. I don't know what's going on. He's got his glasses on top of his head. And if you don't know, Rufio is part of the Blue Glasses gang. So let's see what Rufio had to say that got these women's dry wombs into such a tizzy that they had to go yikes posting on him. Let's see. He says, I feel and think I'm wasting my time with women that don't cook enticing meals, chase men who are unworthy, and don't have a clue what worth is. Not my fault your parents didn't teach you how to cook food or be a woman. Oh my God. I think this might be the redemption arc for Rufio Phoenix, and I'm trying to be redeemed in his eyes too. This post is amazing, okay? Just bring me food when you chicks figure out what this is because of feminism and the flaws that follow along just moments behind. This might be the clearest this guy's mind has ever been. You know, he normally talks in this such a strange word salad sort of style that I can never make heads or tails of what it is Rufio is trying to say. We've coined the term Rufiisms. We had to invent this thing called the Rufetta Stone just to try to make heads or tails of it. But that's all in the past. Those are all precursory events. We're in the future. This is Season Infinity of Pod Awful. And in Season Infinity, we make friends with Rufio again. I'm going to defend him. And he says in this post, by the way, I will never white knight you, which I love. He spelled night wrong, but the idea, hey ladies, listen up. I ain't ever gonna white knight you. So get to cooking. I'm here to white knight Rufio. I believe I have the key to prove that Rufio is not an incel. Does he have a lot of incellular qualities? Yes, he does. But I believe that the key to all of this is that Rufio is not an incel. He is just a mall ninja. Let's go bully the internet, and by that I mean the ladies. This is Pod Awful.
Pod Awful TV. Oh, y'all is doing it right. Pod Awful sucks, you faggot. Good boy. You danger. You scam artist, douchebag. You're the worst, motherfucker. Just give up. You fucking little piece of shit.
You're crazy. You're sick of your head.
Fucking dweeb, faggot, jackass. Pod Awful sucks. You know what? You're not funny. I want to really kick your ass. You're human trash.
My mom doesn't like it when I mention Pod Awful anymore.
That's right. Listen, I know. He's in the intro song there. Welcome to Pod Awful, by the way. I'm your host, Jesse. If you don't know me, I'm Jesse P.S. I'm known as the greatest guy. That's Rufio in the intro of the song going, dickhead, Pod Awful TV, you're human trash. All of those are Rufio Phoenix. And we're going to make it right. We're going to have to change that intro because Rufio is going to be on our side in just a bit. But if we're talking Rufio, we got to start things off right. We're going to check in with the chat room in just a second. But first,
I seem like a mega faggot when I play Call of Duty and do some dumb shit for the comedic response.
this is Rufio.
I stop and I move on and I do something else.
His name is Rufio Phoenix. He's cool and fast like Sonic, but he's more into knuckles. Yeah, he's handy in a scuffle, and he's honest and upfront. Never been a social cunt. Please don't be an ass on Facebook when Ruby rocks the whole damn place shook. Rufy, oh, Rufy, oh, Rufy, oh, Rufy, oh, roofie. Oh, yeah, I'm a roofie, that hoe.
Eric, you're welcome.
Angela, you're welcome.
You are welcome.
You are welcome. Let's see what they're saying in that chat room. We're live, as we are every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, podawful.tv. The greatest guy, our boyfriend, Jesse P.S. That's right, I am known as the internet's boyfriend. I saw somebody say the Blue Glasses Gang rides again. Best season ever. The Goon song, Rufio, everybody's singing along to the theme song. You'll love to see it. Thank you so much for joining me live for this one. And we are live every Sunday, except last Sunday. I took a break, okay? Some people, they were like, Jesse, how come you're not uploading? Where are you? I posted about it. Follow me on the different social medias, and you'll know what's going on, okay? I posted it everywhere. I took 1 week off. I think if you added up all the times that Revenge of the Sis has missed a show lately, if I took the same amount of time off, I'd get an entire month, okay? Just search their Twitters for the word sorry. You know, their whole brand name is literally We're Not Sorry, but they have to say that a lot. They miss a lot of shows lately. I wonder why. What is it that is making Mersh and Royce miss so many shows? Well, I can't figure it out. But anyway, we are now live Sundays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern.
We're live
Sunday,
Wednesday, and Friday,
8 p.m. Eastern,
8 p.m. Eastern
at podawful.tv.
at podawful.tv.
So let's take a closer look at this post that they've shared around of our man, poor Rufio. You know, they're going to drag him, and I know from experience, from being his bully, I know he can't take this kind of bullying, especially from a woman. So he went on to say, just bring me my food when you chicks figure this out. I still don't hate you, and I refuse to ever be that guy, and I will never white knight you. Let's see if you can save yourself. I love that. That post is amazing. That's something I would post. Okay, this Rufio is cool. And I've always said this. No one ever believed me. Rufio won't believe me when I say this. I like him. I think his head's in the right place. He just has a tough time saying words out loud. And of course, every woman in this post is commenting. They're saying, oh, you're definitely that guy. Enticing meals, LOL. Oh, he seems nice. Oh, I bet you're the life of the party. Oh man, don't you want to crack skulls? Don't you want to crack skulls when you hear a lady or a guy say something like, oh, he seems fun. He must be the life of the party. Here's one. That's a whole lot of words for I never get laid. Your group is called Incel Spotting. I would imagine that everything you post would be a lot of words for I never get laid. Is that just the comment on everything? At what point are you too tired to comment on yet another incel post? But of course, again, I say, Rufio, not an incel. Incel qualities, yes, but not an incel, and I think I can prove it. Somebody says, ooh, what is a white knight? Is it a KKK party? Are you really that stupid? Of course you are, because you're an oyster brain. So that's them sharing it. Then we've got even just regular ladies are sharing this thing to their own Facebook, just privately sharing this. Here's some dumb saying, is he being serious? And then there's the post again. Oh my God, sounds like it. Is that a cold sore? It's a cut on his lip. He cut his lip. He explained this in an Instagram video. Oh my God, is that a cold sore? Followed up by somebody saying he sounds like an incel. Well, which is it? Does he have a cold sore or is he an incel? Because if he's got a cold sore, that implies that my man got laid essing some major peen. He's getting them natural illustrations juicified. So I hate this stuff. I hate seeing people just, oh my God, look at that. every time I get into a goon, I get one of these new goons, I always do as deep a dive I can on them first because I don't want to seem new to the party. So, ladies, listen up. If you're going to make fun of Rufio Phoenix, you've come to the right place. I know everything about this guy, and I know he's not an incel because, number one, he's got a kid. Okay? Something that none of you will ever accomplish. Oh, actually, I don't want a kid. I've decided to use this time for me. I wanted to buy a jet ski and really work on my craft. What is your craft? Macaroni and cheese? So, these women, every woman now is like, yeah, no, I think it's fine to wait until my eggs are fried to have a child, or just never. Have you ever met a woman who never had kids and did something with that time? Like actually accomplished stuff? I know there's super famous women who have, but there's also super famous women who had a bunch of children. So clearly that's not the difference. But the ones who are the most vocal about it, there's entire Reddit sections, subreddits about going childless. Hey, what's up? What's up, fellow young white millennials? It's me, your friend, Shlomo. And did you know that you could actually save a lot of money by never having children? I know your great ancestor Grug had to literally invent fire to get through the night. But why don't you just end your entire bloodline here in the easiest time to ever be alive? That makes sense. So, women, I've never seen them do anything with this. They think they're going to learn how to go they want to travel. They're going to go scuba-ing. And they want to I just want to, you know what I really want to do? Travel. It's going to make me worldly. Have you ever met a girl who traveled? I have. I've met a lot of, I lived in New York City for 10 years. And I've also dated some girls who did some traveling. Let me tell you, the only miles they're taking are of dick. That when a woman goes traveling, she's not taking in cultural experiences. She's taking slightly more selfies than she normally does. Usually in a week, she's taken 5 million selfies. If she's traveling, it's exactly 6 million, not one more, not one less. So just a few more. And, they might, if the first day they're in a country, they'll go and get whatever the cuisine is, and then they'll realize, well, that's crap. Oops, I went to Cambodia. This stinks. Where's your McDonald's? Yeah, McDonald's. Hello? You don't speak English here? Hey, click clack. Hey, gloop glop. Where's your McDonald's? Hi, can I speak to your manager? Do you mean the president of our country? Whatever, okay? So these are the women who go childless. They think they're going to do something with their time to make fun of Rufio. It's kind of sickening because Rufio's got a kid. That proves he's had sex, but technically speaking, I know being an incel does not mean you are technically a virgin necessarily. Those are two different things. You can become an incel after having had sex, and I understand why people would think he might be one, because he does give off that vibe. When he dated one of the listeners of my show, this girl named I'm sorry. This girl named Diana, she was not the nicest to him, okay? And Diana Steinfeld, and she was mean to him, but most girls are mean. She did some pretty nasty things. She actually went around sharing his nudes behind his back. And this made Rufio lose his entire brain. And I have famously, every time I try to catch people up on Rufio, I always play this one clip of him completely losing his mind on this girl, because the anger is palpable, and it's the rage you hear about from incels. Oh my God, he's going to shoot up the sorority. He had that kind of rage. Now, I was going to play that for you again here because I want to be fair to both sides and give the girls their due. He does kind of come off as an incel. But I figured it's time to hear it from a woman's perspective. So instead of playing you the same old clip we always do, here's the Diana Steinfeld, R.I.P. everybody, says Diana did pass away under mysterious circumstances, R.I.P. Here is the famous Steinfeld monologue as presented not by Rufio, but by a well-known and amazing actress. It's time to give the girls a chance.
Let me drop this one on you, Diana. You don't want to fuck with a person who is non-college educated, who only has a high school diploma. Somebody who has struggled their entire life to try to make something of themselves, to be productive, to make an income so that he can get off SSI and live his life fucking happily and get away from manipulative people like you who are butt sore over some woman's random post. I mean, is it even relevant, or is it really relevant? I don't even know what the founding basis is. You have no means to do what you're doing. You're acting like some SJW, social justice warrior, who's just completely on some trip, and you're trying to drop everything on me. I mean, first you said that I was a perv and a pig. Now you're saying it's rape? My dick can't just get hard. Have you ever realized that nervous people can't do porn? They don't just all of a sudden say, well, hey, I guess I don't need Viagra because I can just get it up even though I have shame. Do you even understand that concept, Diana?
Wow. You got the part, Bryn. Bryn Berg, ladies and gentlemen, a real actress, Bryn Berg. Now, just in case you're confused, those are all, and by the way, you should be after hearing those words. Again, Rufio's a word salad guy. That is the real words he said. That was from an actual video he sent to a girl who claimed that he raped her. And all of that monologue, by the way, is featured on the Rufio Pheonix t-shirt that I'm wearing right now. All along the border of the shirt is exactly that monologue you just heard, with many other famous Rufioisms. You can still get this shirt, by the way, podawful.shop if you want to support the show. So, if you heard words like that coming out of the face of Rufio, it's understandable to think that he might be an incel. Now, what I love about the cult, what I love about the Piranhas, if you don't know, we've got this cult. It's on Facebook. It's called Pod Awful Cult. These guys are great because they know exactly what's up. They know how to treat these situations, and they came to Rufio's defense in the incel posting group. They actually, to start with, let me start with this. They told the people, the women in this group, that Rufio has high-functioning autism, which, according to Rufio, is true. And they tried to get them to back off based on the fact that he has a disability, which you would think maybe that would be enough. No, the ladies wanted proof. They said you needed 100% proof, and somebody needed to post his name to the group so they could get proof that he's actually retarded, and that's the only way they'd back off. These women were insatiable. So someone went another route. They tried to make it like Rufio had died, Okay, they created this fake flyer about him dying. They posted this on Facebook as if they were his friend. And it says, in loving memory, and then they crossed out his name, but it clearly says Rufio Phoenix underneath. They put the date. There's a picture of him in the background. He's in heaven. There's votive candles and flowers. It says, God saw you getting tired, and a cure was not to be. So he put his arms around you and whispered, come to me. With tearful eyes we watched you as you slowly slipped away. And though we loved you dearly, we couldn't make you stay. And obviously this touched the hearts of these women. They knew that maybe this was... No, they just kept going with it. Nothing was ever good enough because they need blood. They have to make the incels feel bad to make themselves feel less barren. So somebody, here's the comments on it. Somebody says, it's not even August 27th yet. That's the date on this flyer. And they said, maybe where you are, because it was being said that Rufio lived in New Zealand. So technically speaking, it was August 27th when this was posted in New Zealand. So this guy comes back, he says, so you just joined this group 2 days ago, right after Jamie says if he comes across this post that he would commit suicide, and now it happens. And they said if he did, then that means A, he's in this group, or B, you or Jamie showed him the post. So their claim, apparently, this guy Jamie was saying, Jamie's the one who found the Rufio post in there. He told them that if Rufio finds this post, he's going to kill himself. And sure enough, here he is, dead at the hands of these sick and twisted dogs. All right, so I thought it was cool that everybody tried to protect Rufio, even if it didn't work. Very nice of you guys to do that. I have Red Bar is the best show, says Guy Series. Yeah, shout outs. Fuck yeah. We'll be singing a bunch of karaoke later. Listen, I know I can't compare, but we will be singing a song, and I'll also be going over the news. So, Katie, don't laugh. Thoughts and prayers. I was trying to read this one. I have all Rich Labels full docs, by the way. Oh, is that somebody in the group? I don't know what you mean. That's Jamie saying that in there. I don't know what you mean by that. Red Bar is the guy with a poop bag. His girlfriend drinks and eats the poop. That's 100% true. We've proven that time and time again. Here's the thing. I don't want to go on too much of a detour here, but I happen to read that comment that just caught my eye. If I'm wrong about Mike David having a poop bag, all he's got to do is on his show, lift up his shirt all the way, pull down his pants to just above the root of his dick, and then, and this is his thing, spin. And if there's no poop bag, then I will donate to a charity for girls, trafficked women, for sexually trafficked women. Anybody who's been trafficked over the Canadian border, I will donate to that charity, or RAIN or something. I don't know. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Since the women out there are insatiable and they won't give up this Rufio thing, they're absolutely positive that he is an incel. Let me throw you this thought, because I know women don't know about this. Rufio is not an incel. He has the properties of an incel. In reality, he is something known as a mall ninja. Now, we referred to this on the show previously as being tactical, and that's an element of it. But you could be a tactical guy and be like a big buff dude who clearly gets laid. You could be a MAGA guy. You know, tactical guys are often in the army, or they wish they were in the army, or they tried to get in the army, but they had flat feet. A mall ninja loves the tactical gear, but he also loves a wizard holding a snow globe. You know? He also loves a knife that looks like twisted wood. They both share a love of tap-out t-shirts. That's when the Venn diagram crosses over. You got tap-out shirts. You've got tactical gear. There's a lot of stuff that crosses over. But then where you lose the tactical-only guys is when you start carrying around a lightsaber and calling yourself Darth Rexperia. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can still find mall ninjas. They're easy to find. They're the only people who still go to shopping malls. Now, ladies, I know you do be shopping, so this should be pretty easy for you to find. I always ask myself the rare time I'm forced to go to a shopping mall, which I actually enjoy doing. I hate going because I don't want to shop. I love going because I have always loved watching these places of commerce die. I love seeing a business shudder. When Blockbuster went out of business, that was one of my happiest days. There's something about it so funny to me, and a mall is the pinnacle of this. Have you ever seen, there's this series on YouTube called the Dead Mall series. I watch that and I laugh hysterically. It's just a guy walking through malls that have no customers. There's nobody goes there anymore. And they've always got these pathetic leftover shops. And there's something just so funny to me about it. I think back to the 80s. Every movie in the 80s had the shopping mall scenes and all of the happiness they would portray at these shopping malls. And now it's just like an old guy walking around trying to stay alive. There's 3 people who still go to a mall. A woman around holidays, an old man or lady doing some mall walking, and mall ninjas. Now, I have known about mall ninjas for a long time because my first job was in a mall. And believe it or not, even though I'm so handsome, I worked at Hot Topic. I was just a kid. I was just a kid with long hair. I wasn't into music. I'm still not. Okay, cool, Tool. All right. Wow. This is where I found my hatred for the band Tool. We sold all of these Tool t-shirts, and they all had these eyeballs all over them. And it was so cringy. And I would see the people buying them. They were all so cringy. This is why I now make t-shirts, because I worked in a shirt store where all of the shirts were the cringiest things of all time. One of our most common customers was the mall ninja. The mall ninja needed to buy his trip pants there. If you don't know trip pants, they're big baggy pants with pointless straps all over them. I'm sure a lot of the women know what I'm talking about because a lot of you probably used to be scenesters or goth girls, and then you decided you grew out of it and somehow you're better than incels now. So while I'd be on my break at Hot Topic, I'm a 14-year-old kid. I got nothing to do. I go over to Chick-fil-A. I get a Dr. Pepper, a pack of nugs. And then what I do is I'd follow around the mall ninjas. They didn't know. You would think a ninja would be stealthier. They would know how to not be followed. But I was even better. I could secretly follow them. And I would find, where do they go? Because they're in the mall all day long, the mall ninja. And I'll tell you where they go. It's the only store still left in the mall. Go to any dead mall. Go to the back of it. It's all the way in the back corner. It's the furthest spot from any entrance to the store. It's a dimly lit corner store with a window that wraps around. They don't even bother putting a sign on it. You look inside to see their wares, and you might as well see a character from The Legend of Zelda in there going, Link, I've got the perfect thing. A fairy pops up and gives you a dialogue telling you, hey, they might have that thing we're looking for in here. And he goes, I'd be happy to tickle your fancy with a little bit of rupee. I don't know. Something like that. You look in there and you're like, why is everything a statue of a dragon and also a foot massager? Everything in these stores is, what's that thing? It's always a dehumidifier and an immaculately carved tree trunk with a wolf howling in front of it. Okay? Do you know the store I'm talking about? I don't know what it's called. They don't have a sign. The person working there is almost invariably a 58-year-old Chinese man who barely speaks a lick of English, and he doesn't even know what the stuff in there is. If you went in there and said, what's going on here? He would be like, yeah. And you'd be like, no, like, what do you sell? What is this junk? And he'd be like, Yeah, you look, get good discount. You're like, all right, yeah, thank you. You do that thing where you look for a second. You're like, oh, wow, yeah, no, this is, what is that? A fairy? Oh, cool. Oh, is this a tapestry of a fairy? Yeah, I'll be back. I gotta run to the no other stores exist. I'll be right back. Fart spray, it has no name, always has at least 5 pewter dragons with crystals. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the home of the Mall Ninja. In fact, it's the womb of the Mall Ninja. He's born here. They sell on the wall, and you'll look at it and you'll kind of go like, that kind of looks cool. Yeah, I mean, look, even I like a wolf or two. You go, wow, that kind of looks cool. That double-bladed thing that goes on either side of your wrist as you hold it. It's somehow both a knuckle duster and 2 swords connected to one another. It seems to be made out of the world's cheapest metal. It's not sharp at all. It's got 100 spikes coming off of its gauntlet. But you're like, that kind of looks cool. What is a scenario where I'd ever use that? And then a normal person, if you don't have autism, you just leave that store. You probably don't go back. But a Mall Ninja, he is birthed there. And it is permanent. He can never stop being that guy. Once you're that guy, once you've bought your first FX saber, you're Darth Rexperia forever. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Rufio Phoenix. Now, listening to that, you could see how easy it would be to confuse Rufio with an incel. It's so easy. But the more I think about it, I try to think of the other Mall Ninja incel kind of guys I know, and they all are actually incels. I mean, I don't know when the last time Rufio had sex is. It might have been when he had his kid. I hate to admit it. I feel like I'm kind of getting swayed to the side of the Facebook women. Oh, man.
And all I just said is I thank Dad for making me strong.
Join our cult on Facebook. podawful.com/cult.
podawful.com/cult if you'd like to share stuff you find, like the incel post we got of Rufio. Thanks to Jamie for finding that one. Listen, I hate to say it, they might be right. I want to sit here and defend him, but he's a gamer. He's a Mall Ninja. He's not good with the ladies, no matter how you slice it. I tell you what. I will concede that maybe he is both a Mall Ninja and an incel. As a matter of fact, if you think about it, when a Mall Ninja is trained by his master, one of the first things he probably tells a Mall Ninja is to stay away from the evils of women, to focus on his studies, to become a true path of the way, the life of path warrior that a Mall Ninja could be. He's the world's most radical dude. I'm not a mega faggot. He's got blue glasses and he's tactical. I've got a 6-year-old son. With a basement crew attacks, those Mall Ninjas don't cut no slack. Gamer, cringe, Mall Ninja, incel. Gamer, cringe, Mall Ninja, incel. A black hole gave them the power to rob. Rufio streams, Eric Martin does TikTok. Message my way. They weren't born with down, so watch out for the dancing clowns. Gamer, cringe, Mall Ninja, incel. Gamer, cringe, Mall Ninja, incel. Gamer, cringe, Mall Ninja, incel. He's good with a bow staff, but not with girls. He's good with a bow staff, but not with girls. I think that pretty much sums it up. I mean, to be fair, he's good with a bow staff. He's not good with girls. Maybe they just mean it metaphorically, this incel thing. I feel like we should go to an expert on this sort of thing. I'm not sure. You know, there is an expert. There's this guy. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. I would check in with him before I check in with anybody else on whether or not somebody is an incel. Let me introduce you to this guy just in case you don't know.
We've come here looking for a little of both.
You can see that there's a conversation amongst the incels. How does your inceldom affect you? What does it mean to you?
I'm here with Ross Henfler, a prof who specializes in deviance and youth subculture.
Oh, that's not the expert, by the way. We're getting to it.
I think it kind of gives us a nice window into the rejection and the depression that some of the incels are really feeling.
He's been tracking incel chatter.
And this post with the avatar of Elliot Rodger, one of the heroes, gives you a nice example of how mass killers can be venerated.
Okay, I'm not learning anything from this. I need to know for sure if Rufio's an incel.
In this community.
So what led you to incels?
Incels is just a contemporary example of what I've been interested in all along. A group of men that are engaged in kind of a backlash against women and who are struggling with what it means to be a man in an environment.
Get to the expert, someone who actually knows something about this.
Where they sort of feel their moorings have come unglued.
But why is that turning to violence?
So the vast majority of incels are not violent. They're not acting out their violence.
But from what I've seen is when there is an act of violence, it's celebrated and
in-celebrated.
Encouraged for others to follow. Why is there that celebration of violence?
I think that the Elliot Rodgers and other mass killers, they do sometimes take on a mythical quality because for some incels, they embody the ultimate form of resistance against a feminist culture that doesn't value them for...
Now that is 100% Rufio. I mean, you heard it from that post. That is Rufio.
Who they are.
We just wanted to show you something that we had come across. This is
now we're talking.
Alec Manassian song.
No, wait, it's not Sam Hyde either.
So what do you see when you see that?
I see a lot of anger.
That's a song by a guy called Eggman.
But the fact that he can expect to express these very misogynist, very violent sentiments and can expect to get celebrated for that from a certain constituency, that's terrifying.
But if you were to have an opportunity to speak to this individual, where would you start?
I would just want to listen for a few minutes, honestly. I have a lot of things I could say and a lot of criticism I would offer, but I would want to hear what led you to produce something like this?
Well, that's what I wanted to know too, when I talked to the guy who wrote it, Toby Reynolds.
Toby Reynolds, a.k.a. Eggman.
I mean, certainly this to me sounds
this is our expert.
Like a call to arms for others.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that aspect, but I definitely did not have that in mind.
But online, in the incel community, there's a lot of talk of violence.
The incel community. Add it to the LGBTQ. That's the I now. The lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and incel community. It should all be in there. Actually, Rufio may make an argument for that.
There's a lot of talk of retribution. There's a lot of talk of misogyny. And when I look at your song, it just seems to fit right into it. Don't you see this as part of the problem?
Am I adding fuel to the fire by, doing something like that? I would say quite possibly. And I have considered, stepping away from being online and kind of having a presence online. I feel like, if there's young, impressionable men, I don't necessarily want to, steer them wrong.
And Elliot Rodger or Alec Manassian, they get treated as heroes and by some people in the incel community. Don't you think that this can incite other lonely, desperate people to kill?
I would say definitely so, yeah.
Whoa, okay, he says definitely. So, okay, we've learned a lot there. That's an expert. Eggy's an expert. Now, Eggy says not only is being an incel part of the LGBTQIP community, but also that it could lead you to kill. Something we know about Rufio is he very likely killed his ex-girlfriend, Diana. Let's go to Rufio and see what he has to say about this very idea. Rufio actually put up on his Facebook page a new thought log, which is amazing. This is what he's known for, are his thought logs. Let's get into his thoughts on these types of topics. Maybe we can understand him better if he just speaks for himself.
So I finally get to talk to my Facebook friends and family. I'm not sure, I might make this, I might try to change the post to public soon enough, because actually there is something about this.
Thank God he did.
Gender identity politics that I genuinely feel bothered by. Well, not only has this been exponentially memed and heavily this is being
He almost said quantified. It was so close. We were so close to a classic Rufio moment. I really think Rufio has grown up a lot since he left the internet. Let's see how that handles. But here we go. We're talking about gender stuff, so this is perfect.
talked about all over the internet. It's getting ridiculous, and it's like just okay. So there's apparently this is either a massive running joke. I hope this is only a joke, because at this point, I mean, like I'm already somewhat overprotective of my kids. So
wait, kids? You had another one? You only had one kid a year ago. What do you? But okay, it's good that he's protective of his kids. That's a good, strong man. Perfect.
Yeah. There's this thing now. The gender identity community is now proposing. Where it's like, well,
the gender identity. Okay.
Being a pedo is sexual. No. Are you really that depraved?
Okay, well, yeah, depraved, sure.
I know it's not exactly normal for me to give this amount of judgment.
Okay.
You are fucked up. If you're considering that being a sexual orientation.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Rufio is now missing a tooth. I don't know. I don't know how it happens. We sometimes just stop talking about a goon, and then when we come back, they don't have a tooth. It's just a fact. It's just a common feature of goons. Rufio is an S-tier goon. He's one of the highest rated goons there is. So obviously, you leave him alone long enough, he's going to come back missing some teeth. We actually covered this in our our Friday show in the Pizza Fund. There was a little bit of a return to Rufio a few weeks ago in there. Podawful.pizza if you want to see that.
You need help. Like, I honestly question sometimes if I need to talk to somebody about the shit that you propose. So yeah, there's this is either a massive running joke or another 4chan troll. Wouldn't be surprised.
So he doesn't like trolls.
But no, this is being genuinely talked about quite amply and memed very heavily.
So close.
Okay.
So close.
If you turn this into a gender, I mean, like, it's already hard enough for me to cope with the fact that when I was born, I was paid for my documentation of birth. Okay, that's already hard enough for me to cope with, and sometimes I have to remind myself just to like chill the fuck out.
All right, yeah.
But you're now proposing that pedos are a gender identity thing. Like, I know you want people to be all accepting.
Let me just be clear. I'm with him on the pedo bad, obviously. The pedo gender, I'm not sure where that's coming from. I was hoping maybe he said gender identity and gender. So I thought maybe we'd talk a little more man-lady stuff. Maybe he'll get there.
That's low. Just stop. Really. You need to talk to someone. If you're genuinely thinking about that, you need to talk to someone, because that's fucked up. I'm not even, after this live, I'm not gonna even think about this, because this is not worth talking about. This isn't worth mentioning. This is worth locking people up for.
Wait, what? Really? Wait, roll that part. No, hang on. It's probably worth locking people up for. I would say maybe even a little bit more. Like, if
you're thinking about turning pedophilia into a sexual orientation, I'm like, I could look.
Who is doing that?
Heterosexual, homosexual.
Okay. Here we go. Back on track. Let's talk about the LGBTQI incel community.
All right, sure. Bisexual, that makes sense. These make sense.
Okay, so he understands bi. All right, that's nice.
Transsexual makes sense.
Trans makes sense. We all agree with that. Makes total sense.
Logic fit that works out in my brain.
So we've got the L, we got the G, we got the B, we got the T.
Ambisexual, that works out in my, and that makes sense to me.
Okay, you lost me on that one. I got to be honest.
Pansexual. Pansexuality is essentially the same as demisexual, just on a more physical level.
What? So wait, you understand all of those? By the way, spoilers. He's pansexual.
Oh,
that's why he knows what that means.
Sexuality is connection by like, you know, it's time spent bonding with an individual.
Oh, so he's okay.
So there's more of an emotional link there.
Yeah, it's like being what is that one? The sapiosexual. Actually, I get horny from people being smart. I'm pansexual. I really get wet when I'm close to a person. Yeah, that's pretty typical. I'm not sure that's its own sexuality. Get to the incel.
Sexuality is interaction by physical attraction.
He's living in 30/20, they say in the chat room. What is demisexual? You know, demisexual, it's sort of like pansexual. So.
That's what that is.
Once you get past the transsexual, you'll start to notice that a lot of the dash sexuals are kind of all the same thing or nothing. In fact, I think incel is probably closer to a sexuality than most of this list.
But if you ever turn pedophilia into a sexual orientation, I'm already, like, from the last encounter I had on the internet, I was genuinely concerned for the well-being of my kids.
What? No, hang on. What are you talking about? Not me. No, Katie Donahue, get out of here. Don't contact this guy. No, you melt-faced bitch. You're probably in that group. Listen, I don't, what encounter is he talking about? I hope nothing ever happened to his kid. Is he saying that his kid ran into a pedo thing, or did he think there was a problem because Pod Awful made fun of him? I've heard people try to claim that before. For instance, Katie Donahue. But we never did anything to his kid. Negasexual.
You didn't have to... You don't have to bring this into the picture, too. I already got enough on my plate.
Wait, his last encounter, did he go on Grindr and then there was something weird with the kid? Hey man, you want to hook up? Sure, let's meet behind the dumpster, you know, the usual spot in town. Behind the Arby's dumpster. Cool, what time? 6, all right. By the way, do you have a kid? Yeah, I do. His name's Connor. He's my 6-year-old son, my good old son. You want to bring him along? What? Why? Like, to leave him in the car while we go out behind the dumpster and then buy him a beef and cheddar afterwards, some curlies? No, I wanted to see if he wanted to get in on the act. Oh, no thanks, bro. Never mind.
Got enough to handle, enough to think about. I don't need to be, you know, I don't need to hear that. No, that's something.
Yeah, man in the chat says a fart poop sexual. Sure.
That is...
personally... This is me. I'm actually a pussy sexual. I'm super into pussy, you know? Like, I mean, only my wife's, but God, it's like really the pussy that does it. You know, I hear a lot of guys argue. They're like, I'm a tits guy. I'm an ass guy. Are you into tits or ass? Me? I'm like a pussy guy. I'm super into pussy, you know? Wet pussy, dry pussy even. Just pussy, man. Just, if I were any kind of sexual, I'm definitely a pussy sexual. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing I would have the sex with, probably, on a lady, is the human pussy.
No. It's like, well, everybody...
The human adult pussy. Get out of here, peas!
Has feelings. True. There are people who legitimately feel nothing.
Oh, God. What?
Gonna argue a fact with me? You wanna argue fact for fact? We can do that all fucking day. One of my friends, a very long-term friend, she posted something about, like, if you turn this into... I don't blame her. I honestly don't blame her. I can't blame her for this, because genuinely, this is like opening up the gateways to allow pedos to start like creeping on kids. And it's like, teacher, leave them kids alone. You know? And that's kind of mean and rude of me. So I'm gonna retract my comment. Like, there are good teachers. I've had a few really good teachers in my lifetime, and none of them touched me in my no-no spot. So
I don't know, man. I've seen some of them stories in the news about a lady teacher touching a kid. I feel like that'd be the good teacher. If it were me, I wouldn't want them to do it to my kid. But if I were the kid, you know, I mean, I've seen, look.
Thankful. But really,
I remember being 15. I don't think I would have been like, no, oh God. No, not my hot teacher.
This boils down to, it's the patriarchy.
Imagine being that kid. You grow up to be a mall ninja if you narc on your teacher who's hot and blows you at 15.
Oh, the masculinity. Oh, your fucking teen angst. I know how that feels too, chick. Oh, but the rape.
Here we go. Now we're done. Now we're incel posting. Here we go.
Culture that fucking doesn't exist. I'm a male, a heterosexual white man.
Yeah! Get scared, women, we're white! Let me roll that back, because now we're getting into it. Now we're talking.
The patriarchy. Oh, the masculinity. Oh, your fucking teen angst. Yeah. I know how that feels too, chick. Oh, but the rape culture that fucking doesn't exist.
Tell them. Tell them about it. There is no rape culture, okay? There's only rape, and it's delicious. I heard some lady talking on a show the other day. She was telling the horrible, sad story of her rape. And she said, this is crazy to me. She said, because of our rape culture, I never went to the cops about my rapist. I knew who he was. He's a man I know. And he went on to rape multiple other women, but I never went to the cops. And you know why? Because our rape culture means when you take these stories to the police laugh in your face. They say, ha ha ha, you got raped. Hey, listen, toots, that's the reason I became a cop, is to laugh at rape stories.
I'm a male, a heterosexual white man. A Caucasian male. I'm a little arrogant, kind of pig-headed sometimes, and very stubborn. Yes. But I will back this one. There ain't no fucking rape culture. Shut your fucking whore mouth. Oh.
Ooh, flinch, bitch. Flinch.
There's no rape culture. Just shut it. No man ever looks to anybody who they can... Like, when I've gotten little post-its that have said, oh, well, this is somebody who's in your area. Oh, I want to fucking move. Because I'm tempted to just go fucking knock the teeth down their throat.
Is that what happened to you, Rufio? No offense. Sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm a bully. I am a bully. I'm still going to rib you, but I am on your side. I love this.
Well, everybody gets raped once in life. Not if it's consensual, you stupid ditz. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's what I've been saying. How can it be rape if it was consensual? You know, it's always consensual. Because the woman, look at what she's wearing, the way she's acting. Her pussy. God, that pussy, man. That pussy, you know?
There are reasons why I can point the blame and freely, knowingly, and willingly do so.
Yeah.
There are justifiable reasons to exploit and explain. But due to this
Wait, to exploit? No, hang on.
This thing called continuity of exploit theory.
What? Due to this thing, the continuous thing known as continuity of exploit theory. Now, is this some big brain I don't know about? Is this a real thing? Is there a theory called the continuity of exploit theory? And just nobody told your old pal Jesse?
Just essentially.
Hey, does he know something I don't? Maybe Rufio's a genius.
Reasons to exploit and explain. But due to this continuous thing called continuity of exploit theory.
Somebody look this up. I refuse to believe this is a thing. A thing called the continuity of exploit theory. The words sound like they could mean something together. But then again, I know Rufio. I made the t-shirt. Let me see if I can read something off of this t-shirt. It's a little faded now. Oh my God, it's too faded for me to read at this point. I wear this shirt a lot. You know what? I know what to do. I'll bring up, we've got a website, and it's called bigbrainedniggas.com, and it's the Pod Awful Wiki. I'd love you to be a part of the wiki. Let's pause this video for just a second, okay? And then let's bring over the Pod Awful Wiki. Now, I've got the page up here for Rufio. I like to have it up during a show. I like to have open the wiki about the goon so I can have ready anything I may need about them. And as you can see here, the wiki is 100% beautiful. Well done to anyone who contributed to this section of the wiki. As you can see, he has been added to the S tier. We've got his tactical ratings, his revenge rating, all the statistics, all his AKAs, a nice GIF of him right there. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on here. But what I actually want to go to is a different page. Let's go to, down here, the Rufetta Stone. Now, in the Rufioisms, if you take a look here, you can see we've got words such as precursing, walk of paths, mega elegant, thought log, social cunt, moral reflection. These are all terms that Rufio came up with. Mega cuck, the comedic response, end resolve, direct a message my way, a dink. He loves saying dink. And then the name of the shirt I'm wearing, Digital Warrior Assault. Career and entertainment values, which you might think may mean something, but instead what he meant was a job. He called a job career and entertainment values. Aspect ratio, which also did not mean what it sounds like. To him, an aspect ratio was your outlook on life, I believe. I think he was trying to say the way you look at things, your aspect on things, your aspect ratio. Life-based necessities. Listen, we've got a lot to add to the Rufetta Stone. I hope you guys will join the wiki and help us out with that. Again, bigbrain.com is the wiki. Bigbrainedniggas.com. And I'm hearing him talk. I hear him bring up this theory, the continuity of exploit theory. That could easily go into the Rufetta Stone. That could also be an actual pop science thing. It sounds more legit than gaslighting, right? Rufio for sure. A podesta sexual. Pod Awful TV. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. Check. LOL. These are killing me. So I can't tell if that's a real thing or not. It might be real. Maybe he just looked this up. Maybe this is something he knows about. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And if it's not real, let's start pretending it's real. Let's start using the Rufioisms and make people think we're just smarter than them. Because if you say it with enough confidence, he never does, but if you say it with enough confidence, people will buy it. I think we could put this idea out there. Somebody look up if continuity of exploit theory already exists. If it does not, we're going to start using that in the place of gaslighting. Well, that's just the continuity of exploit theory. I mean, pretty simple stuff if you know what you're talking about. I guess you don't, but if you know about the continuity of exploit theory, then obviously. Okay, anyway, let's get back to finding out if Rufio is indeed an incel or not.
Which is essentially routing somebody's innermost emotions against themselves so that you can maintain a stamina of control over the individual.
So that's like narcissistic manipulation, right? Continuity of exploit theory. No chance it's real.
That is the bad version of the empath. That's the fucking no-no. That's the one you leave alone.
That one's the no-no. Okay, so he is talking about that. He believes himself to be an empath. He can feel things bigger and better than people. Thank you for throwing the link in the chat room, by the way, Angie, with the link to the wiki in the chat. Do join that chat. By the way, we go over the, join the wiki. We go over the wiki now on our Friday shows in the Pizza Fund. And I love seeing those entries updated. I sit there and read them. I laugh my head off. I don't remember all this stuff. You know, just the other day, yesterday, actually until this morning, we had a Rufio marathon. It went 23 hours long, and I did it so that we could all catch up on Rufio. There was stuff that I completely forgot about. While that article on Rufio is very good and very detailed, there are missing things. So anyway, podawful.pizza, if you want to see the Rufio shows from the past, all of those were in the Pizza Fund, and that's why we're bringing them out into the free section of the show. Now, I want everybody to be introduced to this guy. I love him. But also bigbrainniggas.com if you want to get in on our wiki action. I'd love for you to take part in that.
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. Podawful.pizza.
Pizza, pizza. Pizza!
Podawful.pizza.
P-I-C-C-A.
The Pizza Fund, it's our own Patreon we built. It's a subscription-based platform, and it's got all our premium content in there. This is my only job. This is all I do. We don't run ads. We don't have sponsors, so you can support the show by joining at podawful.pizza. Get them Rufio episodes. By not being in there, you missed the Rufio Marathon, a one-time only event, and it's gone. 23 hours. By the way, that means we had 23 hours of Rufio content. That's just the Rufio stuff. We got a bunch more. That's not even all of the Rufio stuff. We have over a day's worth of content on just this guy alone, and I've been doing this for 10 years. Let's get back to it. Podawful.pizza.
And that's not to say that every empath has this trait. It is the complete possibility that every man on Earth, and either or man or woman, doesn't matter at this point. By the way, that's another argument I'm going to finish after my statement. Every man and woman alive has a feeling. The problem is, can you feel what other people feel?
I can't stop this feeling. Ooga chaka, deep inside of me. Chaka, ooga chaka. I hate every woman, and I will run over them. I'm driving my car now.
Can you see through their eyeballs? Can you sort of feel pain when they're in pain, even if you don't know they're in pain? You kind of get those, yeah? You don't, nah? Then you are a narcissist. Let's use facts.
Continuity of exploit theory.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, oh, well, man did this. Why can't women have done this? Well, M-A-N is, again, in the ending of woman. Did you ladies forget that? I wonder why we're so annoyed with you.
Oh, no!
Anyway.
Okay, yeah, you might be an incel.
My friends have been very supportive of me through my, I guess, massive extent of a hiatus from the internet.
Oops, sorry.
I've been rather lazy as of late, so that's fine.
Again, I'm on your side now, though, Rufio. Stay on the internet.
Look, I don't mind if you have a gender identity indifference. If you have a gender identity indifference, that's fine. I don't mind.
I know what he means.
But if you're going to try to turn that into a sexual orientation, which is essentially gender identity and sexual orientation politics, this is why politicians, this is why, don't give a fuck about politics. This is why I don't, and I genuinely don't even want to talk about this.
What did he just said that into his hand? What was that? I mean, Rufio, I love you, but what are you spitting into your hand? What are you doing?
This is why, don't give a fuck about politics. This is why I don't, and I genuinely...
That might be, and this should be added to the wiki, that might be an extension of autistic lip grabbing. Nervous autistic lip grabbing. This is a common feature of autistics who are saying something they know is embarrassing to say, so they grab at their lips. This is a feature of a guy named Keenan Jerome Floyd. This is a feature of many, many autistics out there. I think Rufio just did a variant of that. He just talked into the palm of his hand. Don't give a fuck about politics. And don't give a fuck about politics. I can do that. Man, that's actually, you know what? That's actually pretty fun to do. He might be onto something. I don't give a fuck about politics. That makes me feel good. Maybe he's just trying to feel good.
I don't even want to talk about this, but right now I don't have much of any other choice. This is exactly why there are problems in society. And now
he has to talk
I will tell
about
you
it.
something that I do agree with the whole, something good that has come from gender identity and all that. People have become,
and the only thing that's good,
more in tune with themselves, and that's good. That is good. I got to be real with you. That is good.
But
others have sort of stayed behind with the rest of people in terms of this, like, you know, there's only really two orientations. That's fine. Like, I'm not going to deprive others of their belief. I'm not going to deprive.
Somebody in the chat says, I hate the word Volcel, but it does apply to me. Wear it like a proud badge, okay? It's good to be Volcel.
Others of their sexual orientation, because it's very true. These other sexual orientations that are being amassed, those are not genders. Those are orientations. Stop making this too much.
This is just all true. He's right. He's right.
Before you speak. Think.
Well, all right, calm down, Rufio. I mean, that might be the pot calling the kettle the N-word.
Before you act. Now, with all things said,
and they have been, I think Rufio has literally said all the things.
People could do a lot more.
You spit facts this hard and you start losing teeth, trust me.
To like, realistically, the only disagreement I have with Amy Schumer.
Okay. How did we even get here? How much of this? All right, I'll let it keep playing.
She's a comedian who genuinely,
I don't give a fuck about politics,
has some very different views, and it is in my experience that people typically follow those with alternative or very mind-altering or course-changing
path of course
views, and that's very true.
Yeah.
Now, this can be done very well or horrifically bad. So realistically, I want to believe that I want to believe that she's intentionally meaning a little bit of harm to try to ease the pain in some way, because she is her personification.
He's just going to start spitting the commandments now.
Her personality screams narcissism. And, I don't know, right? The women are like, oh, men narcissists, but then blame the guy because that's exactly what you are. Ladies, get a grip.
I'm glad I kept playing it. Ladies, get a grip. That is such a funny thing. Here's the beauty. You know, we tried to protect Rufio from this incel posting thing. He is 100% equipped to take on these women. How funny would it be for a woman to call you an incel and just to go, lady, get a grip? You're losing your hold on reality. Get a grip. Ooh, pull a fat cloud. You deserve it. Give him the clouds.
Not every woman's the same.
Well,
so yeah, there are differences.
He's even being reasonable. Come on.
I mean, are your eyes blue? Do you?
I mean, he might be a mall ninja, but it sounds like he's learned a lot in his time away from the internet. It really does. I don't know if he could be an incel at this point.
I don't know. Do you have the same hair follicles? No. So, shh. Stop it. Don't be an idiot. It's like what 4chan did in 1999. That's and during that time there was a thing that went around that was absolutely horrific. Just no. Just no. Yeah. Anyway, I think I've said all the things that I need to say. So, really, stop trying to just...
He's having a tough time with these thoughts. He's trying to hold his tongue. He's trying to be good. Let him be good. Dear God, give him the strength. Make sacrifices.
Really consider what you're thinking about.
There you go. What a great way to end it. I mean, that's a reasonable guy. He said some hard truths that you're not allowed to say on the internet anymore, but he was very reasonable. He said it's not all women. It's just almost 100%. It's like infinitely approaching 100% of women, but not every single one of them. There's a couple. Again, almost every single one of like 99.9%. I think what it is Rufio he's smarter than he looks. This is something he said. He's smarter than he looks. He does somewhat understand he's funny. Rufio is just a bit of a joker, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait. Kaiser Soze, the Joker. It's all hitting me. It's like a flashback happening. It's like that part at the end of the Sixth Sense where all the clues came together. Wait, of course he's not an incel. The answer was in front of us the whole time in the video I played at the beginning of the show. Let's take a closer look.
It's a late night, and I was looking through the Instagram profile that I got going on, and was thinking, we made some really good memories. We amassed 198 followers. That's awesome. Thank you to each and every one of you. I know that some of you vehemently despise me because I have high-functioning autism, or maybe there's just something else that...
Wait a second. Computer. Enhance. Rufio Phoenix has a girlfriend. No. This can't be. That's impossible. Wait, what's that? Hang on a second. Something just popped up on my computer. It's Eggy.
Well. Rufio Phoenix. You are in the incel spotting group, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rufio Phoenix's new girlfriend, and she's one of the Earth's Harley Quinns. We got a lot more Rufio to cover, and we'll do it on the Wednesday show in the Pizza Fund. Join it, $12 level and up. podawful.pizza. I hope to see you there. Grab yourself a Rufio t-shirt, and until next time, have an awful day.
Head over to podawful.com/iTunes and subscribe to us on iTunes. We're live every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern at podawful.tv. Love the show? Keep it going by donating to the Pizza Fund. podawful.com/support. And anything else you need is at podawful.com.